Hi, I'm Eric Koenig, Director of Marketing with Heritage Parts. I'm here with Robin Ashton of the Ashton Report. Heritage Parts and the Ashton Report have teamed up to be your all-access pass to NAFEM 2019. Day one is in the books. There's been a lot of great things. One of the big things that we've seen this year is connectivity. Robin, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Those of you who've been in the industry for a while know that connectivity has been a thing that the industry has been working on for a long time. The chain folks particularly have been trying to drive connected kitchens going all the way back into the 90s when NAFEM created the Customer Advisory Task Force and the NAFEM Data Protocol to try to create a single platform for connectivity. It didn't happen then. No. It didn't happen again in the aughts and the early teens because, quite frankly, the hardware and software weren't there. But the other difficulty is both the multi-brand aspect of most commercial food service kitchens and non-commercial kitchens. You know, you can have as many as 30 brands in a kitchen. And how do you get them to talk to each other when they're competitors? Yeah. Okay, so one of the big things we're seeing this show particularly is suddenly things are opening up and becoming more agnostic. And so if you've got a cooking platform that's mostly well built, but you got a couple Middleby pieces on it, or you got a couple of IDTW pieces on it, or you got, Henny Penny or somebody else like that, now suddenly there are systems, connectivity systems that allow you to do that. Now I know Eric and Heritage are also doing some of that on the asset management, PM side of the service and parts side of it. And Eric, you want to talk a little bit about that because you're playing off some of the same trends, right?
Yeah. So we've introduced My Equipment 360. It's a tool to allow the end user to manage an entire kitchen footprint, connecting them to parts, manuals, upload photography, and for us, really that next step is where can we drive connectivity? How can we bring that information, support an end user, but also at the same time support our manufacturing partners? There's a lot of opportunity. And as equipment becomes smarter, as equipment brings in new features, as equipment really is forced to do the job that used to be two pieces of equipment because the kitchens are getting smaller, redundancies going away, maximizing uptime is really critical, which also leads us into some of the new equipment that we've seen, specifically from Vulcan, a new fry pot.
Yeah, but let me talk about connectivity a little bit more if I can. I just asked Rick Karen, who's the Chief Innovation Officer at Wellbuilt, and he goes way back. I mean, he helped invent Turbo Chef. He's done a whole bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I asked him what's allowing this to happen beyond just the agnostic aspect of now you can get competing brands to talk, within one single kitchen. And he said the key thing is cloud computing, because kitchens require a lot of data. If you're trying to monitor the temperature of a combi oven, the temperature, the humidity of all that kind of stuff, that's a huge set of data, and that's one piece of equipment, okay? And you might have 20 or 30 pieces of equipment you're monitoring in a kitchen. You got to have a really big box to put all that data. And what makes that possible is all the cloud computing. So Amazon and Cisco and all the people that are selling, in Microsoft, they're selling cloud services to all kinds of people. I mean, you see the Amazon ads on TV. That is partially what makes it happen. And then the hardware has also come to the stage where it can do that, it can be agnostic, everything gets uploaded automatically. I know that's what you're working on My Equipment 360. And so that's kind of the brains behind what's allowing this to happen. Now what Eric was talking about, one of the great things about NAFEM, one of their themes used to be if it's new, it's at NAFEM. And that's still true. And that's particularly true because NAFEM tends to attract the big equipment engineering and purchasing people. And they're the ones that tend to drive technological development in this business. And I had a really fun meeting this morning with Larry Jones, who's the Chief Construction and Engineering Officer for Captain D's, and he took me through how he worked with Vulcan to create an electric countertop fryer that is 30% more efficient than the gas fryers they were using before, and also is in a very small footprint, just like you said. and it sits on top of a chef base. So they've been able to have much better ergonomics within their kitchen, because now, just like you see in a cheesecake factory or something like that with the chefs, suddenly the food product is right below the fryer. Now, you know, most fryer batteries were stand-up units before, but there's a whole bunch of really cool stuff in this fryer. I go see it at Vulcan, go see it at the Hot and Cool booth, which I think it's the Green Lounge up on the northwest side there. You know, it looks like something out of 1965, because it has like a dial controller, except behind that is solid state technology that allows them to maintain temperature within 3 degrees. So you don't have the wild swings you used to have with rheostat type, you know, thermostats and that sort of thing. It makes the equipment much more efficient. They've actually been able to go to a 38-pound fry pot that cooks 30% faster than a 50-pound fry pot. So there's a whole lot of stuff in there. But that's the kind of stuff that you see at NAFEM, particularly if, like me, you got a few chain friends and that kind of stuff. They'll show you how, like, you know, look what I made. Yep. You know, look what I helped make. Because a lot of this stuff is very symbiotic. It's like an operator will come to a supplier and say, I have a need, how do we get it done? You know, then they play them off against each other and try to get the guy who does it cheapest. Yes. So that's all part of the process. But that process actually happens right here at NAFEM. And so I'm really excited to get back out on the floor again tomorrow. The other fun thing here is, of course, you know, as all the associations started calling themselves a few years ago, all the families are here. So last night I go to the bar at the Hyatt, and half the Sofesa board is there, all the service guys. Yes. And that kind of stuff. You know, the consultants had their meeting yesterday and the day before. You know, I ran into a lot of dealer guys here today. So that's part of the fun, and I'm looking forward to that again tomorrow. Yep. So that's day one. That's, you know, one of only 3 days.
That's
so
right.
We'll be back at you later on in the show tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
That's our job.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.